Um, Hi, it's your friendly neighbor Spider-Man, Xenos here. Um, I'm a little nervous today. If you hear something in the background, it's my brother and his friends. But we are going to get into a reading, a surprise reading. Um, have three different decks and a lot of oracle decks that we are going through. So this is I don't know where the fuck I got this energy from, but I think it's because of we don't really sleep after being woken up from being sleepy. But anyway, I'll try to speak loud enough so where you can hear me, but I also want to be a little quiet. So anyway, your friendly neighborhood today is gonna go ahead with this. I'll start with, well, actually, I gotta prep the cards first. Um, you know what? I'm gonna prep the cards, and then we'll just talk. So, um, how was my day? Well, yesterday, I got some cleaning done. As you can see, it's a little less everywhere back there, you know. Gotta keep it a little classy. Period. um, I actually do got a new setup that I'm working on for when I actually do readings. Um, it's just a matter of what the hell else I'm gonna do with it, but I just feel weird just leaving it as it is and then just having like a whole lot of space just in my back. Um, I don't know. I just feel weird about that. But it's gonna come together. Don't fret, lovelies. It's gonna come together. I'm sorry it's so late that I'm doing. But it's not even late. It's just really fucking early. Um, and I'm just like squeaky, squeaky. Um, I just don't know why this early. I was planning on doing a reading soon, but I was just like, I guess it was because we were so busy just in our own world. We were just kind of doing shit just to do it, and uh, it just happens. But I think I feel a little bit like this reading is just going to talk a little more about expectations. Um, and I guess we're just gonna wing it. It doesn't have to be about expectations, you know. But I feel like it's always good to talk about that. I don't know. I feel weird. I just feel like I'm a weird person. And I'm okay with being weird, actually. It's just the idea that give me like a who. I am so glad she has a whole ass armor of a cage because what the fuck. Um, I don't think it's weird to talk about expectations though. I just think that it's when talking about them that's where it gets weird. I'll explain in a minute. So, in a moment. Weird feeling. Why did I say that? I don't know. I told you guys I am a little weird. I'm not even a little weird. I'm a lot of weird. But I like my a lot of weird. So hashtag not changing. I just have issues performing. Um, I wouldn't even say performing. I would say just being generally in front of people, that's what I have issues with. Because I'm not sure if I should even share that. Because it's about the system, right? Okay. So, give us like a moment to just put these cards up here, and then we'll just like, talk and shit. But anyway, hi. Um, so one of the altars, the younger altars doll, they literally are a doll in the inner world. So how they are is like it's our body doesn't move how it's supposed to. It's like they affect our mobility issues. It's more so because of um, anxiety and yeah, it's a lot deeper than that. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. But hey, let's get started. And you already know how to come out with a handy dandy book. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Um. Oh, the fuck. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read it, but it just like it just kind of caught me off guard. Um, idleness. Also see action, leisure. Prolonged ideas paralyze initiative. Anonymous. The way to be nothing is to do nothing. Nathaniel Howie. How? Probably how. I don't know. Um, it is impossible to enjoy idling thoroughly unless one has plenty of work to do. Jerome K. Jerome. Idleness is the stupidity of the body, and stupidity is idleness of the mind. Joanne G. Soom. What the fuck is with these names? I'm sorry. Um, idleness is an intellect to disorder, an inlet to disorder, and makes way for licentiousness. People who have nothing to do are quickly tilted, tired of their own company. Jeremy Collier. An idle brain is the devil's workshop. English proverb. Purity of mind and idleness are incompatible. Mahatma Gandhi. And idolatry. We boast our emancipation from many superstitions, but if we have broken any idols, it is through a transform of idolatry. The idol is the measure of worship. James Russell Lowell. Is there anything else? We also have idea and hypocrisy. But these are interesting because they actually tie in a lot to what we have been doing today or this past morning. We'll explain soon. But, if it ends up popping up again, like, we'll go back into it. Um, but that was interesting, I guess. I guess, but you know what I mean. I'm not even going fast right now, but you know, I'm just kind of thriving off of like probably is animosity like aggressive? I don't think I'm I don't an animus. Animus? Think I'm animus or I don't think I feel animosity. I think I just feel like I think I just feel weird. I always feel weird, you know? Oh, we have the heart chakra, anahata, love, gratitude, compassion. The heart chakra is the key to our ability to love and it connects all the remaining chakras. Aromas of honey and rose. So today's focus will be on the heart chakra. I feel like when it comes to the heart chakra, we don't really have that connection with ourselves. And when I use we, I'm not actually talking about like everybody because I know everybody is different. I'm talking about like um, the body, it. We are it. You know, we're talking about it. Um, and when I use we, we're talking about, you know, multiple alters and stuff. But I will also use singular pronouns, which is like I and, you know. Anyway, so I feel like when it comes to the heart chakra, though, we don't really have that much of understanding when it is opening yourself up to connections that aren't going to hurt you because me and my friend was talking about this the other day when it comes to self-sabotaging. So, oh, by the way, I cut my hair like a melon. But anyway, um, we were talking about self-sabotaging, and I think that has a lot to go hand in hand with. Sorry, blank out there. I think it has a lot to go hand in hand with how you were raised and how your love language and your ability to compute with your emotions is also at. Um, because I can tell you right now, when we were growing up, we were not very compatible with people, mostly because we didn't have that sort of area to express ourselves to the fullest. Um, and yeah, we express ourselves to some extent, but it was more so just we weren't compatible with our words also because I feel like the heart space also connects with words. When you say one of our love languages is words of affirmation, like we can't get enough of that shit. But you know, um, when it comes to the love language, we don't really actually talk about how that's supposed to make us feel. Uh, or even love itself because love doesn't have to be romantic. I feel like a lot of the times it's we over romanticize love instead of seeing love as something that is universal that can fit for any medium of people. And I think that's something that we grew accustomed to because that was all we seen around us. And the more that we kind of identify what is a crush and what is admiration and what is um, actually liking someone as a person or you know actually liking someone it it kind of makes us think about where we were at a couple years ago actually when it comes to relationships that we had. And I use relationships vaguely because it was more so of just, you know, multiple types of relationships that isn't just only romantic. Um, where was I going with this? Love languages, talking. I love talking. I love talking long talks. It's just that I don't really think that um, I'm compatible enough to continue talking a lot. Uh, you know, I don't really like interacting with people outside. I'm just interacting with you guys because that's the only way I feel connected to my throat chakra. Um, we all have different parts of us feel connected to our throat chakra in different ways. For me, it's speaking out here and actually helping you guys, and also helping myself in return because it's stuff that I say that kind of make me think about how I'm moving and how I'm going. It's like self therapy, but it's not actually therapy. It's just actually trying to get an understanding of who you are and what you need to do, and actually making the best of the life that you have right now, because we might have a lot of time, but we don't have enough time to just be wasting it on, um, doing bullshit. And some of the things I think we do is, and right now I'm using it as like a plural thing for, you know, but I'm gonna, I feel like it's kind of knowing how we, you know what I mean, how we use the pronouns thing. But, in case, we're just going to clarify when we're talking about us and then everybody. But I think everybody has, um, how do I just use everybody then? Or every pony? Let me stop. Let me stop. But I think that we have to have an honest conversation with ourselves when it comes to getting down to the nitty gritty of self and sing every part of our shadows. I actually did a song. Well, I didn't. Melody did, but we did a song earlier today. But uh, we kind of had lost part of the track. We were trying to lead to make it save faster and shit. But we just had to redo it. So fucked it. We redo it. Um, but in that song, towards the end and somewhere in the middle, we were talking about inner wounds. Um, um, One of the words that's sticking, well, not one of the words, one of the lyrics is, "Don't love too hard or you'll run out of time." And I feel like a lot of people are scared of loving because we know that love is the highest of frequencies, but we don't know how to love to where we are giving that high frequency. Um, and I feel like there's always miscommunication with whatever you do. It's just a matter of if you're willing to take that step to communicate again. Um, and for us, it is hard because we just overthink a lot and we overcompensate, whatever reason that is for. But, I'm actually so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm just like falling in love with myself the way that I'm just staring at this goddamn camera. But anyway, back to you guys. So we're going to. I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna use these cards. I don't wanna use them. Um, it was just numbers and letters, but I just didn't use them. Uh, I actually want to use the letters. I feel like they have a message, but I don't want to use the numbers for some reason. I'm not feeling numbers. I'm not feeling numbers. Sometimes it just be like that. That's so weird because some of them are turned over. And then we're going to go with my cards. She's back. There she is. Hi. I'm back. Sorry. Um, but Charlie came back. I just fed her, so she should be good. I hope she doesn't bother. Um, you know, where'd my cards go? Oh, I hope she doesn't bother the hamster. But we got A apple, L ladybug, K K kangaroo, octopus, O. There's gotta be a message here somewhere. I just don't know what it is. We have nest in will. Ooh, one. One more. Okay, I thought so. We have B bird. Okay, so starting off, what's throwing me off is I saw nest, so bird and nest are here. Um, I definitely feel like there's something that's in a sense of also kangaroo. So you know how kangaroo have kangaroo pouches over and shit. So I'm getting a sense of feeling more at home and at peace with whatever it is that you're doing. You're feeling more at peace with yourself and not being so abrasive or convoluted. I hope those are the right words. They just randomly came in, so I'm thinking they're the right words. Um, it's raining. I think I like when it rains. Anyway, so octopus, whale. Those are some big ass sea creatures, and they're actually enemies, I think. But they don't have to be. Enemies to lovers. Anybody heard of that? Stop. Um, but you definitely won in some way, I feel. And with the way that the ladybug is, I feel like there's some luck that's heading your way with whatever adventure, whatever you're feeling like doing, whatever you're going to get into, there is luck coming your way. And when I saw the apple, I was like, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So, um, if you guys need to eat more vegetables or fruit, or maybe eat a lot of them already, and it's like you're healthy as a fucking horse. But I definitely feel like you guys are going to be multitasking. Um, and I definitely think that you should take your time in creating whatever comes in your mind because you have to just do it a step at a time, I feel. It's just always a step at a time. But you definitely won. It's like you have the lottery ticket or something. Um, I'm saying back. A back. Laid back. All back. Laid back. One. You guys are smooth selling, I feel. Definitely the smooth seller. You better stay away from that cage. You just ate. Stop it. Oh, sorry, spacing out. But let's get into the other cards. I know you guys are waiting for that. Oh, Sagittarius. You cannot make this shit up. I am not making this shit up. Inner wounds, again, with a back Scorpio. A fucking Scorpio. I was talking about inner wounds earlier. Um, right, the lyrics to the song. Don't let your inner wounds have a peace. Don't let your inner wounds have a sound mind. But at the end, they were like, just talk to your inner wounds. They just want to talk. They don't want to fight. I don't know exactly what the fuck the lyrics were, but that was literally what it was about. I can tell you what it was about, but I don't know the lyrics. Oh my god. Ooh. You have Violet. Get away from her. Hey. So, disagreements. Doorway. What was I saying earlier? Laid back, one, all back. Numbers. Maybe I should do numbers. Sure as hell skip them, Depression. Foul. What is foul here? Bargaining. Brain. I feel like the brain is trying to do a little tricky trick. Oh, that's a lot of cards. Oh, I don't even know why I'm dreading it. You guys are feeling dread somewhere. You know? You might be feeling laid back, but it's not like laid back comes without debt. Being laid back doesn't come without debt. You have victim and fire size. On the back you have saber complex. You have passionate, lethargic. Ignore my overwhelming yawnings. I don't even have. Hell yeah, I do got them. Oh. Oh, this is the card. I have the broken glasses on. Now we can get started. Um, so already I feel like the brain is the main issue because when we talk about the mental aptitude of everything, um, mentality is not fun to talk about, especially when it comes to, excuse me, the past traumas and, um, actually filling your cup, filling your cup when it comes to having a peace of mind. Um, Tough love and violence. Violent is sickness. Violent is like really getting at me. I don't know. Violence, violent. What is violence? Maybe sometimes you get violence like when you start thinking about stuff that you don't want to think about. I feel like when it comes to um, not even like just intrusive thoughts, I feel like it has to be. And when we have thoughts that we don't want to think about, we constantly hit ourselves or, you know, really fight off those thoughts. So that's what. Yes, see her? She's so silly. Um, I know I got stuff on her cat tower, but she doesn't even play on it that much. So that was like a second home for my stuff. She's got like a little cubby space or something. She just runs around like under that. Yeah, she likes hidey places. I need to get her something else. Um, Back to what I was talking about though. Uh, I'm really getting the sense of, the five stages of grief with depression and bargaining. I feel like has a lot to do with not seeing a way out of your own mental space. I feel like when it comes to the mental space, we always fear it because we don't want to go down memory lane. We don't want to deal with what was hurting us, what did cause hurt, and what we are still hurting with. But the thing is, eventually you're going to have to deal with that stuff because if you don't, you're just going to let it build up and then form into something else. Um, and for us, it was just doing shit that doesn't even work for us. It was more like just we didn't, we weren't here physically, but mentally we were always here. It was like we were living in a vegetative state where we were just going through the motions and not actually doing anything. And we were never like that until we turned 15. And from 15 to almost when we were 19, we were just like in this stuck state. Um, but when we were 17, we started to go more inward and actually figure out what was the source of these issues. Because I kid you not, um, the way we present ourselves today is not who we were before. And we were really, and when we were younger, we were really spiteful. Um, Simply because it felt like it was so unfair that all of this shit was happening to us. Uh, but we didn't even take into account that when we did get out of it, we didn't have to let any of that shit affect us. But it did. So, how are you going to deal with letting stuff affect you that you don't want to deal with, Even though you're just looking at life and being like, that shit was not fair. None of that was fair. And I think that's also where we get into the victim because I don't think that we, I don't think that we can break ourselves from a victim mentality like with a snap of a finger. It has to realize, you have to realize that when you are a victim, you are a victim, but you don't have to let yourself continue to be a victim. Um, and I think that's like really what kind of is the make or break when it comes to the mentality of yourself, because with the swords it's all about going through every struggle and actually making and actually solving the problems that is within the subconscious and what's in the forefront or the conscious. Um, when we were younger, we were so in our ego. Um, like you couldn't just tell us like nothing because we were just like, I think we were in the victim complex actually because um, since we were young, it was just like pallets of baggage of trauma that just kept following us whenever we fucking went. And most of that stuff, um, I don't even think we remember it all the way, but a lot of what we do remember, it just is pain. And I think that it also has to do with memories because when you think about memories, are you just only remembering the bad things or are you actually remembering the good things? And when it comes to the people that you are no longer associating with, you don't have to only think of bad things of them. You can think like, we had fun here, but after they did this, I no longer want to stay in contact. I no longer want to be part of this. I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. So when it comes to those memories, you can let them go and then make new ones because new memories are new feelings that you get to have, that you get to grow with. Um, we stuck a lot in our mentality, like a mental breakdown. We were like mentally fucked up. Um, but I think that since then, since we've grown so far from that, I think we actually are kind of dealing a little more with ourselves and um, how we deal with the mental aspect of life, especially when it comes to depression. Um, maybe, sorry, we blinked out again, but you know, we're back. Uh, but I really think that you have a destination that you need to get to, and it has a lot to do with your inside and your inner wounds. You might have Sagittarius or Scorpio in your chart, or you may be those signs. It could be your moon, sun, or rising, whatever it is for you. But uh, I feel like when it comes to, it's funny how they're both S's too. So I feel like Scorpio is just the way I experience it is having a lot of deep emotions. It's my moon, so I have a lot of deep emotions that are just kind of on the surface, but I never actually kind of go deep into them. It's just like I don't know, I don't really know about that. Um, but lately, we've actually been putting a challenge into the subconscious and actually being more into our body and being more present. Because when we dissociate, we are literally out. We don't pay attention to anything. We're kind of just everywhere. And I think this is also when we smoke weed. Uh, it's kind of like the barrier is lessened, and we are more lucid when we're more lucid coming out instead of being in this structure of there's like walls, walls, walls. Uh, I hope you can hear me fine. I feel like I'm talking too low. Um, anyway, it's like almost an hour in, and I'm still on these. And we have like a lot of decks to get through, so this is gonna be like a long reading. I hope you guys can stay up with me. I'm gonna be up anyway, so anyway, let's get into. I didn't even like talk a lot about all of them, but I just think that the overall message is just bringing itself out when I talk about, like, multiple shit. And on the top, I just have inner wounds because I feel like we have a lot of inside um, feelings that we just haven't really dealt with. And that even says to myself because um, we're just not really all the way concrete, I should say. There's a lot that we're going through and that we're dealing with, and that a lot of mentality that we actually have to understand. And I feel like when it comes to the inner wounds, you can't just let them run rapid, like how you let the shadow run rapid and be, you know, over. I can't think of the word, but you can't just let the shadow run rapid. Uh, and when it comes to self, I feel like it has a lot to do with understanding that your wounds are not there to hurt you. They are there to be understood. They are there because you have something in you that needs to be taken care of. And whether it's the inner teenager, the inner child, the inner adult, the inner parents, whatever it is, it needs to be taken care of. You need to be taken care of. There we go. And nobody's gonna do it for you, so you might as well just start on it and do it yourself. Dr. Buzzard. I think this is Justice. I think, my memory could be off. I haven't really studied the major arcana in these. In a while, actually. That's my first deck. Ace of Baskets. Daughter of Knives. That card doesn't freak me out. I just feel like, Mother of Knives. And Ten of Baskets. So I really think that whatever outcome you're heading to, on the back you have the Eight of Coins in reverse. Um, but I really feel like whatever outcome you're heading to, you don't have to be afraid. It's literally meant for you. So it's just a matter of taking the time to let those emotions flow as they should. Seven of Wands. I think this is a card that was still out, even though I didn't, I think that was a card that was still out. It was just sitting on like the side table and shit. Oh, I'm not taking those. But you just had four cards come out. Four of Cups. You have Justice. Justice. And a reverse. Oh, another thing. I feel like if you don't want to hold on to something or Five of Pentacles. I feel like if you don't want to hold on to something, you have to set those boundaries with yourself because nobody's going to make you have boundaries. You actually have to think about what boundaries you want to place. Um, and I feel like when it comes to us, we don't really set boundaries enough because I guess parts of us feel like we don't really deserve boundaries, but at the same time, it's like we want to have these boundaries. But it starts inside. So instead of just being outside and setting those boundaries back to back, it's just we're trying to understand so, and we're trying to ask self what boundaries we need to make with each other, and you know, with each emotion there comes a new problem and all that jazz. I was okay. Queen of Swords. And we're just gonna. I'll show you the Ace of Pentacles. But I'm going to leave that out. And on the back, you have the King of Cups. Oh, and I haven't even introduced. It's the Hoodoo Tarot, the Dark Tarot, and the Horror Tarot. Um, I hope you heard that. I'll still put them in below, but I haven't recently. I still have to review my videos, and I just haven't had the mental aptitude for it right now. But definitely, they will be updated. Okay. You have the Tower in reverse. You have the Fool in reverse. The Empress in reverse. What the fuck? Why are you ending up in reverses though? What was the twist? What was the plot twist, guys? What was the plot twist? What was the twist? What was the twist through? You have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And you just landed on the Empress, I think. Is that the Empress? I think that is. Um, Two of Cups in reverse. And on the back, you have the Knight of Swords. Like, Zuby Mama, what the fuck is going on here? Your bottom cards are all in reverse. Is it because I turned? Nope, it's not the deck. Nope, it's not the deck. It's not the deck. I don't know what the hell happened. Um, we're going to get to that in a moment because I'm just like flabbergasted. I'm shocked. I am beyond measure just like, what the fuck? Anyway, let's get started. I'm thinking of this Will Wood song. It's kind of a lot. That's what it's called. Um, but it's like in the song, he's like, "Oh, I love you so much, it scares me how to endure the unraveling into you, baby." Oh. I just love that song. It's so sweet. It's like when we speak about the love frequency, um, it's like, and fear, because fear is also a strong frequency. Um, Fear actually can rule a lot over lives. And we used to be ruled by fear a lot because that was the only thing that was like keeping keeping us safe from everything else, and constantly having these attacks on us, it just kind of made it more obvious that we just needed to be more fearful of everything. But I think making ourselves like actually understand that everything that happened, it's not fair. It isn't. But we are going to heal, and we are going to grow, and we are going to be better than what that was before. We are going to be better because we deserve it, and we are owning up to everything that we have done, and we're going to move on. We are going to learn what happened in the past isn't going to happen again, and I'll be damned if I let that shit happen again. So, anyway, I need to know if Dr. Buzzard is justice because it's going to bother me. Don't fall now. Oh, hell no. It's fucking 11. Z, get the fuck out of this reading. Oh. I'm not even being mean. I'm just like, it's crazy. Um, One of the agents are named Z, or I guess altered, I should say. Yeah. But 55. Justice, like I thought. I knew it. I just needed to make sure. I just needed to confirm. Just need a little confirming code. My leg. Oh no. Um, what was my face in there? Oh, weirdish. Okay, 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 guys. Be serious. So serious right now. Please stop. Please. I'm so goofy, like, if I'm just sleep deprived and shit, but I don't even know if I'm sleep deprived. I just feel a little weirdy. A little weirdy woo. Um, Starting off with the justice card, feel like something is definitely turning in your favor, especially seeing how you ended off with the Ten of Cups. You are a golden ticket, sweetheart. Um, and you can't let anybody tell you that you're not a golden ticket because only certain people will have access to your chocolate factory. And yes, I'm using Willy Wonka as a reference because there were only 5 tickets, and only one of them had kept the factory. So don't sell yourself short. Don't put yourself down. Whatever it is, you're a golden ticket. So treat yourself as such. Treat yourself as one of a kind because you are. You're not like anybody else in this fucking world. So when you look into the mirror, I want you to look at yourself and be like, I'm the one. I am the one for me. I have me. I love me. I appreciate me. I will do anything for me. And say that in a way is where you're just like affirming yourself in any amount of self love, like that you can do at the moment. Because I feel like we don't love ourselves enough, especially when it comes to seeing the Ace of Baskets. Like, you need to overflow yourself with love and gratitude for yourself. Um, and I also I feel like I'm not getting more of a spiritual vibe, but at the same time, I am. And I'm also seeing with the Ace of Baskets that you have a lot of love around you. It's just that you are so used to doing things alone that you are not used, like, you don't know how to accept the love that is given to you. Um, and she's sitting directly on the cards. Okay. If that's something you like or whatever, She literally just loafed on the fucking cards. Anyway, so with the Daughter of Knives, you see how there's like all of this shit that's around her, and she's just sitting still. Actually, those are actually ghosts or spirits, and I'm getting like a two-factor meaning from this. Like, yes, you might do something that I do. You might see spirits. You might feel spirits. You might feel different types of energies that come around you. Um, but I also see that in the physical world, you know that there's a lot of noise that's around that you need to tune out. And you don't know how to tune that out. And it's just a matter of finding the voice in you. Um, I'm gonna tell you something weird that fucking happened the other day. So, we were recording a song, and we do have anxiety when it comes to singing out in front of people and being around people. But Melody, she fucking stole the spotlight. Like, you had to be there to see it, or just be in our head to see it, because we were literally behind walls, like glass walls, just watching her sing her fucking heart out. And it was so fucking beautiful. It was like, we dictate a lot about how our voices sound, even though we have different voices, um, and the ways our mannerisms are and stuff like that. We just have different tones, different sets. We have different dialects. But the way that she just let her voice be known, because she was tired of everyone telling her how she should sing and how she should sound and what her tone should be, she was just like, shut the fuck up. This is my moment. Let me do what I need to do. And I was just like so proud. Um, I just feel like I'm a mom or something, like just being proud of my own kid. It's weird. Anyway, anyway, you need to learn to tune out what you don't want to hear. Um, I feel like we don't do this enough when it comes to letting ourselves, letting our voices be heard at that. Um, and with the Mother of Knives, so funny because it came after the Daughter of Knives. Um, I feel like you're putting a pin in something right now, and I'm not sure what it is. Only because I see her sticking a knife in the book, and it's like the book's giving you knowledge. Why are you stabbing the book? So it's like you're just putting a knot in, or a pin in, some venture that you want to go on. And I feel like this is what the 10 of baskets is, because the 10 of baskets is about fulfillment. It's about relationships of all kinds coming together. It's a beautiful moment, but I feel like you put a pin in it because you know that you have something else that you need to take care of before you're able to reach this point right here. And I think that's a lot why I think this is the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, Eight of Coins, Eight of Pentacles, whatever. Um, and it just fell. And I'm gonna look right under it. You have Three of Baskets. So, holy shit. I don't know what John Horse is. I feel like no, he's, yeah. I told you guys I'm a little bit of a messiness. Damn bones. Death is such a beautiful thing. I don't think we give death enough credit. People are just so scared of death, but death is not anything that should be feared. It's something that should be, helping, reminding you that the Emperor, he is the Emperor. See, I was gonna say the Hierophant, but I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. have the emperor and you have the empress that's on the back. So I feel like there has been something that is drawing you in, especially seeing how um, the empress is here. I feel like it's not even like you can't be your own emperor or your own empress. I feel like when it comes to feminine and masculine energy, it's more so intertwined into different perspectives of how we view it itself. You get the dough? Yes, thank you. Um, what was that? The Emperor and the Empress. So, seeing as how they're both at odds with each other, I feel like disagreement. I knew it. So, I feel like there's a bit of a separation that comes in between the feminine and the masculine. Um, the masculine is the drive, it is the structure that you need, but the feminine is the caring and the more so creative aspect that comes about. Um, you cannot jump up difference. You can jump over it. The cat stole your spot. The cat stole your spot. Come on. Come on. You drag it like that. Oh, okay. He's on park there. Okay. But yeah, we do have the issue when it comes to communication. So I feel like when it comes to communication, it's more so of just a two-way street. If one person is not ready to communicate, you're definitely not going to get that communication. And the same thing goes vice versa. Um, and I think the fear that comes with it is just like, what are you scared of saying that might change something? You know what I mean? Oh, man, come on. Just messed up the last row too. Like, I feel like when it comes to the communication, uh, it's a two-way street. You can't just let one stay as. You can't just. What the fuck is the words coming? You can't just let yourself be bothered by the lack of communication because when it comes to wanting to communicate with someone, it has to be a two-way street. And at the point, you just gotta walk away from, whatever it is and just let it be until it comes around again, whenever it does, or if it does. Because if it doesn't come around, it just wasn't meant. I am hungry. Anyway, you have the Seven of Wands and the Four of Cups. I feel like when it comes to the mental space, we need to talk about the inner wounds again, because the wands is about physical, it's the fire. It is also the baggage that comes with the mentality. So when you feel like there's a buildup, you have to look at yourself and think, how can I make it be an equal give and take of letting this go but keeping this? And the thing that goes back to the memories too, when we think only about bad memories, we're going to only think about bad memories. But, and with whatever those memories are associated with. But um, creating new memories, that is the give and take. You let go of the bad memories, so you create new memories, and those new memories will replace the bad memories. Um, and when you think about the past and how that is, it's only the past. It's only meant to be looked at objectively and not as a matter of fact of who you are to this present day, because we change all the time. Some people do stay the same, but not everyone will stay the same. Um, but I feel like even people who do uh, stay the same, eventually they're going to have to outgrow whatever shell they're in, you know? And so we are led to justice in reverse and the Five of Pentacles. And it's funny how you got justice twice, and you got the Emperor and the Empress, and then the justice on the second row is just in reverse. Um, and I think that judgment has been passed for whatever it is that needed to be judged, I guess, or you feel like needed to be understood. Um, and I feel like it's more so to do with the inner soul, the soul, just the soul. But there's inner parts of us too. But when it comes to the soul, and when it comes to equilibrium, I just had a blank moment. But anyway, you have the Five of Pentacles. Um, I feel like when it comes to being left out in the cold, you have been experiencing that um, a lot. Maybe not so much in the recent, but a lot in the past. And how you deal with that, how you dealt with that. I'm not going to say it hasn't made you stronger. It's just like you still feel like how the victimhood is like, um, that shit happened to me. Um, I don't want it to happen again. So you have to place actions on what can you do to make sure it doesn't happen again. Um, how do you make sure you don't end up being left out in the cold? And this also has to do with self-sabotaging, um, leaving before you actually get the final uh, piece of the puzzle of whatever you're building, and we're just stopping before you even finish. Um, and there's a difference between stopping and taking breaks. When you stop, you are not allowing yourself to have that freedom to actually see it through. And when you pause, it's just a moment of recollecting what you need to collect. And we have the Queen of Swords. And the Knight of Cups. Ace of Wands. And you also have the King of Cups. This kind of looks like a violin. Um, I definitely think it's something to do with music, but the guitar? Ukulele? I don't know. Some type of string instrument, but um, you know the saying, follow the beat to my own drum. Yeah, um, I feel like with the Queen of Swords, you had to build up a lot of strong mental aptitude to be at the point where you are. I don't think it has been easy, like, it's been far from easy, but I feel like it's going to get easier from now on because you are more knowledgeable, you understand what the flags are. Red flags, green flags, you know what flags are just kind of going to disappoint you and which flags are actually going to be good for you. Um, and I don't think it's fear that's stopping you. I feel like it's your own, I think, lack of compassion. What does compassion mean, though? Um, I guess compassion for self or compassion for inner wounds. I'm sorry to move you, Prince, but you're sitting on my cards. So I'm sorry. I just wish you not sitting no more. Okay, so you had got the tower, and I'm not even sure what. I'm not sure what this had went into, but like what order, but so you started off with the tower, and then it led into the Empress. There's someone in the tower, like just staring down. Um, and this Empress looks like she's getting a demon like sucked out of her abdomen. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Um, but I think that seeing as how these cards just got popped out, I feel like you were stuck in a tower for too long. And you know how Rapunzel is, like, Rapunzel, let down your hair, and you know, eventually she did let her hair down for someone, but I feel like for you, it's just like you refuse to. It's like you don't want to go through any um, pain or the idea that if you end up falling for someone, it might actually be a good thing because you're not so used to having healthy love or healthy relationship. Um, and I think that's also why the Empress is in reverse, and you see how she has this thing that's inside of her, and it's like, I don't think that in this connotation that we are speaking in, that the whatever the fuck this thing is bad. I feel like it's just like a conjoin of um, your shadow and your ego, because your shadow and ego have to work in tandem to actually. I'm sorry, Prince is licking his bottle and shit. It just threw me the fuck off. Um, but I don't think that. What are you talking about? I don't think that it's like, okay, the card. I don't think that it's a bad connotation. I feel like it's more so of just you need to allow yourself to listen to the fears in a sense of where it's like you're not letting them take control, but you're letting them have a voice so you can see where is this coming from? Where is whatever other emotion you have coming from? And if you feel like it's just a negative emotion, you have to give it space to tell you why is it feeling like that, and not so much of just constantly going to it and being like, hey, you shouldn't be here, get out, you know? You know what I mean? Because every emotion that we have is stemming from deep parts within ourselves. We just have to realize that those parts of us deserve a voice too. And the fool was not upright when I first had got it. So now it is. So you see in the fool that she's running from wolves. Um, she's barefoot. She's literally, you know, oh, Two of Cups. I thought she was the same girl, but she's not. Um, but that's definitely Dracula, I think. There's him. I don't know who that other girl is. But I feel like instead of running, you have to go face it. Whatever it is that you don't want to look at, you have to actually face it in order to move past it. Because when you see that you're facing these issues, it's not as scary as it seems. When you let the fear of the unknown go rampant, you're always going to be scared of the unknown. And you're going to be scared to take the leap. You're going to be scared to take the fall. You're going to be scared to um, actually make the climb to the better part of you. Because I don't even think that you're scared of taking the fall. You're scared of falling on your ass. Um, and when you know the Tarot Divine and you know, I think it's the Three of Sticks with the Baba Yaga at the back. Or maybe she's not at the back, but it's a girl that's climbing stairs. Um, Not stairs, a ladder. And it's like, I feel like you're scared of actually climbing out of this perpetual state that kind of kept you stuck in the first place. Um, and constantly redoing and regoing back and forth with it. It's like you're not actually getting to a breakthrough. You're keeping yourself stuck in that breakthrough that you, not in that breakthrough, you're keeping yourself stuck in that mentality that you can't make it. Can't. That's interesting. Um, and with the Two of Cups, I didn't even talk about the Two of Cups. I feel like what we were talking about earlier with the Empress and the Emperor is something that's put on the back burner that you just don't want to deal with right now. Eventually, you will have to face it, but right now, you're just letting yourself have a pause in between because you need to recollect what you are feeling and what you are thinking, how you are going to move, how you are going to understand what these emotions are heading or giving to you or heating for you. Um, you have the Seven of Wands. This fucking gremlin. Um, you have the Seven of Wands. And I actually see you having like one more. Uh, mm, Tonight we feast. Two of Wands. I think that's the Baba Yaga in the making. I was just talking about it. You know, the Baba Yaga has the house and three with the bird legs and shit. But anyway, On the back, you have the Knight of Swords. Right now, you're just at a crossroads where you're just kind of stuck right now. But I don't even think that you're stuck. I feel like it's just you're not sure where to make the next move or what to do next or how to go about. You're just in a sense of just frozen into the unknown. Just frozen. You're just right now, you're just like needing that break of just letting your thoughts come together and not overcrowd each other. You just have to let it be, let it flow, let it go. But definitely, when you are able to face those inner parts of yourself that you fear, you have to come at them without having shame, guilt, or most of all, anger towards it. You have to come at it with compassion and understanding and seeing that these were the old versions of me. These were the parts that were unhealed. These were the parts that didn't have the right support. They didn't have the right structures. They didn't have the right foundations to be who I am becoming or who I am right now. How far I've came, you know? Yeah. So we're back at the emanations. What is the source? What is the reason? What is the feeling? Angel of Mysteries, Angel of Truth, and right head hand empathy, Chised. Renewal, Angel of Truth, Raziel, Angel of Mysteries. And on the back you have Angel of Flame, Uriel. Get some dark mirror. What is your reflection? Alone in the world. Downcast pride. Bride in a cage. And on the back you have calling the storm. Want to know something that's weird? It literally had rain, but now it's like clear skies, and I'm just like, what the fuck? The weather is just bipolar right now. Um, oh, let me show you the cards. And by the way, um, I blinked. Never mind. Honestly, I thought I would be done by now. It's like 85 minutes in. Oh, brother. Um, the opposite of fear is truth. Um, I feel like with a lot of emotions, the truth of them are hard to describe because when you're so used to, I don't even want to say lying to yourself, I feel like covering, pulling the wool over your eyes about what the truth is, it's more so going to lead you into this state of where you're just like, you're kind of blind. What's this it said? I can't see, I'm blind. Yeah. So I feel like it's more so of just uh, you need to be more open to actually seeing that every part of you, not only the parts that make you prideful or that strokes your ego or whatever, you have to see every part, even the nittiest of grays. You have to see every part and come at them without any insecurities or I feel like your insecurities they themselves have um, also need a voice, but more so in a way of just like, how can I make this not my insecurity? I feel like we always have uh, insecurities within us, but I definitely think you need to let yourself see the truth of what is within you, because when you get down to the reason that I feel like this is because of XYZ, the reason that I act like this is because XYZ, you're now faced with the question of how can I heal this? How can I change? Not change, but how can I change my mindset from I feel like this because of them, but to I might feel like this. I might used to feel like this because of them, but now I am XYZ. Now I know that I don't have to feel like this because of whatever it is. Now I know from I was to now I know. I am to now I know. And it's just a shift away. You just have to be open to taking that shift. Um, and she said, empathy. She's holding near her heart a ball. But you, and again, what I was talking about, the pulling a wool over your eyes. It's like you're opening yourself up and you're taking that wool off of your eyes. And you're actually just having that sense of compassion for yourself. It is something that is always needed when meeting the parts of you that don't feel accepted. Uh, and I feel like when we go to the thought of just rejecting, it's yeah, ain't nobody watching. I'm just doing it. you know. Anyway, when it comes to uh, accepting parts of ourselves that we feel are not being accepted by somebody else, it's just that we have the capacity and compassion to accept those parts of ourselves. And I think that we're all gonna have something that doesn't always mix entirely, and that's okay. We don't have to be the same. We are building different ties to whatever we feel tied to. So when we look at those ties, we can't be like, you have to be this way. You need to realize that when it comes to the ties, they need to have their own unique strand. Like how we all have unique DNA. We might have similar things, we might have similar um, colors and shit like that, but we are not the same. Even when you look at siblings, they are not the same. When you look at, uh, you know how puppies, they come out in the same litter and they have the same birthday. And also with twins, like, they don't act the same. They don't, they're not the same. Actually, they're not the same. But twins, they might have the same DNA, but they're not going to be like acting like the same person, you know? Raziel, Angel of Mysteries. Um, Spacing out again, my bad. But when it comes to Raziel, it was a weird download. Uh, anyway, Raziel, Angel of Mysteries. Um, I'm hearing it's kind of a lot again. Um, specifically the lyrics. I've never been afraid to wear my sleeve on my heart, wear my heart on my sleeve, wear my sleeve on my heart. And I think that's kind of what we need to come into. Um, Not being as afraid of having this type of frequency, uh, and actually being open to new experiences, new ventures. Uh, I even gotta say that for myself because I'm I'm not an active person. I'm not as active as I want to be right now, but I'm getting there, and that is improvement. That is improvement. Uh, but with the Angel of Mysteries, I feel like that when it comes to, you know how they have the saying where you have to see it to believe it. Well, I think that you don't have to see to believe it. I think it's just more so you have to realize you have to put in the work, and you have to be open to receiving and reaping your rewards because you know that you are deserving of them. They just don't fall out the air, you know. You have to actually actively work your way towards them. Um, some gifts do, they do fall out the air or whatnot, but it's more so of just you have to be open to getting those. So we have Alone in This World, Downcast Pride, and Bride in a Cage. You definitely feel like you were stuck for a long time and you were alone and you didn't have anyone to rely on. And I feel like when it comes to not having that type of support, we always feel like we're going to stay like that forever. But it's not true. We have connections that we build, um, not even just on a daily basis, but yeah, we do. We have connections that we maintain on a daily basis. And how do we maintain them? We have to communicate. We have to understand. We have to be more, I can't think of the word right here. I think after this, I'm just going to. I got two more. Actually, four. God. You know, I'm going to read Downcast Pride. You know that song, We Got That Fire? I don't know where the hell that's from. 20. Oh, we literally jumped on it. Like, okay. Moon phase new. Stage depression. Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The eyes, dark dried with dried blood tears, looks downward. The face of a dark skinned, beautiful elf with golden laurels among her hair is stern and motionless. Roots plunge into her body from a golden collar. The sky behind her is gray as concrete. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it, as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with the world that would spread us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through a hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots grow dry, replaced by what we can only be called a surge of lack of self esteem. We are deluded when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't that sad? Honestly, true delusion is our faith in fall and winter. When we discard spring and summer as fairy tales, the sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. I like that. I like that a lot. And another one. Alone in the world. Moon phase, third quarter, stage acceptance. In solitude I stand, in solitude I may shine. Under the morning light in a closed and silent court paved with stones, laced by trees, a beautiful woman sits naked on a precious bench. Many blankets or drapes are around her and color red and white like discarded wings. I made my home the cloister, my heart a chalice for the faintest breeze, and yet I stand alone, waiting for something to come back. When we parted ways, we promoted to each other, I will wait for you and I will come back. We may have used different words like it's just a few months, or sharpened like I don't need you. Still we are waiting. Mind has lost hope, body has lost memory, but our heart is still incomplete. It is shrouded with a blessed feeling of longing and desire, innocence and hope, but it is also entombed into the well of solitude and distance. It is built walls to stall the passage of time, and walls kept out everything. Will the prince come, or has the world gone silent while we waited? Waiting is a transition. It has a beginning and it has an end. Waiting is the night. Morning brings the sun of a new day. So definitely, guys, you can't stay stuck in this cage. You can't stay stuck in this idea that you are not worthy enough to move on. You are not worthy enough to release whatever is causing you the most distress. You are worth everything and so much more than you could ever believe, I feel. And you just have to see that for yourself because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody can take your eyes and see it for you. Nobody can take your eyes and look at your scars for you. You have to do that with your own self. Okay, we're almost done. Let's not be so delulu. Oh, Pedro. Cup. Pedro. Pedro. Four cars jumped out and they didn't turn over, so I'm not going to keep. Four cars jumped out and three of them are turned over. Oh my god. Spirit is like fucking with me at this point. Um, you have Pedro, Bercana, Birch, Fehu, Cattle, Wealth, Laguz, Water, Lake, and Weird, Fate. Word. Oh, and Pedro is Cup. But your runes, oh, and on the back you have Tiwa's Commitments. See, I feel like this actually just brings together a lot of the things that we were even talking about. Um, you have a path that's for you, and I feel like when it comes to the water, that you need a lot of hydration, or you need. I usually take long showers um, when the water is like really hot. But if the water gets cold, I kind of jump out like quick and fast. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with it. Um, I thought his hair was part of the picture. Um, anyway, we take long showers, but we don't do it all the time. But when we do take those showers, we are thinking of like everything that we don't want to think about right now, everything that isn't serving us in the ways that we feel safe and comforted, we release it. We don't let it stay in our vicinity. We don't let it stay in our mind. We don't let it fester. We release it. And I think that you are going to get a lot more knowledge, um, and probably even a new home or wealth. Like you're going to go shopping. I feel like there's a lot that's coming your way that you don't even know about. But, it all starts at the beginning stages, Pedro, when you are learning. You have to let yourself be at this learning stage and actually enjoy being at the learning stage because learning is only part of it. And show commitment to yourself. I'm not even in the frame, but show commitment to yourself. Keep committed to yourself. I'm hearing that song, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. If you don't know Nita Simone, I highly suggest her. She has such beautiful music. Um, I haven't listened to her recently, but I still got like a lot of songs. On the back, you have Moon in Sagittarius. Be prepared to be adaptable as plans you have laid may have taken an unexpected course. What did I say earlier about the it was the Empress and the Emperor? There was a stalemate, and there was something that was just the two of wands or the two of cups, one of those. But it was like something was put on the back burner, and you're just in this time, this period where you're just like, I need to recollect, I need to rediscuss, I need to re-evaluate. You have the moon in Taurus. Now is the time for focusing on finances and practical matters. New moon. The time is ripe for seeking new opportunities. Waning moon. Let go of which is causing you inner turmoil. Now is the time for casting away emotions that are no longer serving you. Moon in Cancer. Spend time with family or helping others. Avoid situations that can be a drain on your emotions. The cards do not lie, people. The cards literally, they do not lie. You have moon. Oh, I was about to say you have moon and Taurus twice. And on the back you have Aries. Um, Remain sensitive to others to avoid confrontation. And the waxing moon. Now is a good time to focus on achieving your own personal goals. And your affirmations for today. Today I feel good. Today I know deep and down that I look good, feel good, and I am a good person. Today I am calm. Today my mind is open and I am at peace with who I am. And on the back you have, today I will not compare. Today I will not compare myself to others. I will find true peace in my own life. Shit, I have one more that I didn't even do. Bro, I forgot about this soulful woman. You don't have to be a woman to have these cards pertain to you. But mainly, they are just about women, you know. It's called Soulful Woman after all. I remember I used to use these so much. Um, okay, that's fine. You have three cards. Grace. When I open the door to the deep source of grace, the flow of my life feels effortless and vibrant. More birds. I feel like birds can be significant in some way. Um, Feminine law of attraction. I love the creative venture that is my life. I celebrate as a creator. Princess Charming. We were talking about the prince earlier. I think it it was Downcast Pride, I believe. But I take the horse by the reins and become my own prince slash princess charming, taking care of my own needs. And these also have messages in their book, so I'm feeling 39 and 47. Let's go to 47 first. Grace. When I open to grace, the flow of my life feels effortlessly and vibrant. Illuminated by the exquisite light of grace, I can see that I am part of something greater than my physical form, connected to the magnificent presence of grace. I express kindness and abundance, both within me and around me. Grace grows in me each time. I give thanks for all that is good in my life. I notice wisdom of grace. I notice the wisdom of grace when something that is blocked starts to flow again, or when the answer to a difficult problem arrives unexpectedly. I remember to ask for grace. I am open to its blessings. Then we have 39. Princess Charming. I am my own Princess Charming. I am I am my own prince slash princess charming. I am no longer waiting for a prince slash princess charming to ride up with his or her trusty horse. Instead, I take the horse by the reins, loving myself and taking care of my own financial security. In this way, I make sure that I am as safe as I move through this amazing world. This process is an important step in my empowerment and expansion as a person. By taking the reins of my own life, I integrate the divine feminine and divine masculine energies within my own being. I honor the strengths and gifts of both of these energies into my own lived experiences. The power support is such a pretty card. I haven't even gotten that one. Like, that one hasn't even been out here yet. Oh, Time of Follow. You just don't know. That is my favorite card. Creative manifestation occurs more easily when I have nurtured and honored my time of follow. My time of follow are peak periods for nurturing my soul and trusting my life path. The winters of my life, when people, projects, and passions have withered away, are opportunities for me tapping into the unseen resources within me. I honor my time of follow as a spiritual time when the deep roots of my inner being are being nourished and replenished. When I enter the follow time, I accept that there is no point in digging around trying to find new buds. Finding the new buds. Follow time calls for receptive stillness. I bring my presence to my body's needs, inner sensations, and changing moods. I tune into those things that are replenish, restore, and nourish me. There is greater potential for the creative manifestation once I have nurtured myself and honored my time of follow. I just don't know how much I love that card. Um, I think that's all. Like, pretty much, you know. I'm going to pull a few cards out of my deck. Um, just because I feel like we need a little bit of a last, leaving off thing. I feel like it's just been a lot of talk about um, the hurt, the pain, and needing to move on from that and needing to actually come to yourself with compassion, but there's not, there were light sides to this reading. I won't lie and say there weren't, but it was pretty, on the darker side of things. Oh, we have ghost figures, nature, go for a walk, foundations, and values. Ghost, nature, foundations, figures, go for a walk, values. So definitely it is a moment for you to be more receptive to yourself. Take yourself on a walk. It doesn't even have to be that far. It can just be around the corner or, to whatever store you want to go to or whatever. It's just like take time to move. Take time to move at your own pace. And don't worry about, what other people are saying. You can't take what they say into heart. It's just what they feel, but it's not what you feel. Um, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm about to crash and go to sleep after I clean up, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an awesome, amazing day. Uh, and I'm happy that I was able to start the day like this because it kind of just helps a little bit with me. But anyway, keep it juicy in the koozie and peace the fuck out.